afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. Day number 2 at Belmont Park. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling. Beautiful day here. Winds died down a little bit. A little bit warmer out. It's still a little chilly out here, but a lot nicer.
No, it's a nice day today.
Yeah.
Today's the day you should come out.
Well, I was in the paddock area for a little while visiting a friend of mine yesterday, and it was beautiful. The wind didn't seem to be blowing. It was warm. The sun was out.
I'll be out there a little
We went
later.
out to watch the race out front. And it was like
it's
you were in
different.
two completely different worlds.
It's
You
too
walk
different.
literally
Part
100
of the,
yards.
Part of the racetrack is in Queens and part of it's in Nassau County.
Part of
Yesterday,
it's-
the
part of
weather
it's the
was
Antarctic. It's
yesterday it was
Florida.
the South Pole and the equator. Yes,
Well,
it
once
was
once
ridiculous.
the sun goes on the other side of the building on a day like that, really was, and the wind in front.
Us
But
Belmont
anyhow,
veterans know how to
No, I
handle
know,
it. Right? You,
yeah,
stay
I mean,
you stay on the patio, you come to the front to watch the race, and you run back as fast as you can.
But even the first day back, it was a little bit of a shock to
Yes,
the system. You almost forget a
absolutely.
little bit how cold it is. And it was quite windy, and I think that's why we saw slower times and also slower fractions. The run down the backstretch with the headwind was pretty severe. Anyhow, we have 9 to go. We have a pick 6 carryover. We got a lot to talk about. Head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, no better time than the present. Use the promo code Derby25. We will give you a free $25 Derby bet in addition to the normal $200 match bonus on your plays. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. We also have the 20% exacta bonus, same as yesterday. Opt in through the weekend for that. Opt in over at Naira Bets. And 20% bonus on all your exactas. What else do we have? Could have been a big score for me in the 5th race. Belmont Saturday contest, $300 buy-in. Cash and seat prizes. You have till 5 o'clock today. Head over to Naira.com/contests. Also, we have a pick 6 carryover, 26,601. It's odd. This winner, the last race was the second choice, but there were 2 or 3 covered, and that wasn't one of them.
It wasn't one of them, no.
Yeah, surprising a little bit. 26,601. Tough Horse particularly winning the 8th race yesterday. We also have the Belmont Stakes tickets are still on sale. Head on over. Go over to BelmontStakes.com. And last but not least, 1 to 6:30. FS2 today, all day, covering today's action as well as Oaklawn Park. Race number 1. Thought the first race was actually an interesting race. And so apparently the entry is going to be a big favorite. And which do you like, the 1 or 1A?
I like the 1.
Okay, lay it on me.
I don't really have much to lay on you, my friend. I did not... This was the skip button. I would like to hit the skip button here. But I just landed on the horse that I think... She has a couple of races, 3 races on her card, that would smother this field. The race 2 back would get the job done. The race 4 back would annihilate these horses.
The race 2 back is that super high fig race that just sticks out a little like a sore thumb, to be honest.
Well, you see, I disagree with that because she has a handful of other races on her card that... The race of Colonial.
Okay, but it sticks out for customer experience, and I don't know. She ran a 53 buyer in January before putting the shelf. So you're telling me maybe she did, and she came back and ran the 76, and then she comes back at 3-2 and is a really sort of mediocre 9 points worse. I don't know. I don't like this horse.
Obviously.
The sources off the claims have been atrocious over the last 6 months or so. I don't know. I don't like the 1A at all. Foxtail.
No, I don't either.
She comes out of that sort of much talked about race, but that was a very weak field of both she and Indian Bella. Now you have Indian Bella third. I don't even think she's a contender at all in this race. I guess charge account's not impossible. I wasn't a fan, though. I'll be honest. I thought I didn't realize they'd be such a heavy favorite in here, but apparently they are. Now, Chase and Bryn will take a look at her last race, and in some ways, she kind of comes into the race off the best effort. The problem with it is, it was against non-winners of 3 Lifetime, and she's beating like a drum, but she's beating horses like Alpine Queen and Carrick, and she probably was an overlaid 8-5 that day. And it's not like you look at her prior 4 races and you get too enthused with her.
Right. And I think you could ask that question more than Charge Account's race 2 back. Where did that race come from last time? Because
easier competition.
I guess.
Dry track.
I guess.
I liked her last time, so I'm not shocked. And she, like Charge Account, has back races that are very good, and she may have just sort of touched on it. For what it's worth, Jeremiah Engler, over the last 2 years, he's just 9% off wins in the dirt, and that kind of scared me a little bit.
We've said this a lot lately. I'll say this about Chase and Bryn. If, going from those condition claimers to the open claimers, I don't think she could have found a better bunch to dip her toe in against.
Maybe,
To be honest
maybe
with
not.
you.
I like Gringotts in here. I thought Gringotts was pretty interesting. I think Gringotts is one of those horses that, with different connections and a different rider, could be vying for favoritism in here.
She'd be the favorite.
Well, this rider's done fine on her. I mean, she lost to Mashney Girl, a little bit of Irish Sass, and Cali Magic last time. I mean, I think you would agree.
Honey Money two back,
I mean,
yeah.
Honey Money, I mean, customer experience. She fit at the wire with customer experience. And granted, that was not a good effort by customer experience. We'll see what she does in later today's card, but I think this horse has been keeping much better company, and I thought she made an enormous amount of sense in this race, and I thought her connections would keep her price a little bit higher than I think it should be. Race number 2, we'll take a look at Stone Creator in race number 2, and we'll go back to the maiden win. And see, I'm not bothered by the fact that Yo Cuz got exposed over the weekend, because one of the reasons I didn't like Yo Cuz this weekend was that this horse had been compromised in the race against Yo Cuz, and Yo Cuz had been sort of hand-delivered the races. I actually think this horse is pretty good, and I know mile 16th, new territory for her, but I just thought she was just better than these horses, Anthony.
There has to be some trepidation about the 8.5 furlongs.
Not for me.
I know she ran her slightly best fig going the mile, but she
What?
kind of just stayed on the last eighth of a mile that day.
Well, then she'll stay on the extra
Yeah,
half furlong. I mean, I don't know
right.
what about her suggests. I mean, let me put it this way. As opposed to who in here that you are confident is better at a mile and 16th than she is. I mean, there's always I'm Fine, but she seems to be running ridiculously slow figures.
Yeah.
And she's kind of a bit of a hanger. I guess she's not impossible in here. But which are the others that you're looking at and you're saying?
I picked her too.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Preposterous second. I mean, I do love her name. Such a great
Yes.
name for a horse.
Great name.
Francisco is
Bob
right
did a
on
good-
top,
Bob
by the
did a
way.
good job with this one.
That heater coming back on. You're really on your game, Francisco.
Bob and the gang over at E5 did a good job with
We'll
this
take a
one.
look at Preposterous' win last time. I'm not a fan of this horse. I know this horse ran a comparable figure. I get it, of 70.
As a 2-year-old.
Yeah, I'm not a big believer in off-the-turf races or races that you can sort of depend on going forward. And I thought this one might be the second choice in here. And I thought Holiday Jazz more interesting off the David Duggan claim. And I even think the 5 is a little more interesting. This is the one I'd be against. I know you've got your loyalty to Bob Edwards, but I don't think
No,
this horse is
Philly
much worse.
ran a 20. Ran a 70 by, I figure 6 months ago as a 2-year-old. And I get the whole off the turf thing. I do.
Yeah.
I get it, but
She beat some okay horses.
I mean,
I'm not-
that was what I was about to say. It's not like she beat a bunch of
No, she beat some okay
tomato
dirt
cans.
horses.
She beat a decent field, so
I would say decent. They were okay. Well, I'm just not a fan.
it's okay and then decent.
Yeah.
Decent's better than okay.
Decent's better than okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they
Yeah.
were kind of comparable.
Yeah. Okay is really not that good, but you're being nice. Decent, actually, Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know
Okay,
that. I
you said
didn't
okay. By the way, we're at
Decent.
104 in case anybody's
No,
coming home.
103.
104.
Oh,
You gave me 3 to 2.
3 to 2. Yeah.
You even acknowledged me beforehand.
Yeah,
the horse.
I did, 3 to
When I
2.
referred to the horse, you said, "Oh, the horse that cost me 3." No, that you cost yourself 3 lunches. The horse, your failure to comprehend what you
always
and
my
everybody
failure,
else.
Andy. It's
You
always
and
my
everybody else.
failure.
Horse was 41-1. So
Yeah,
you
that
weren't
was
the only
ridiculous.
one that
That was a
failed to
ridiculous-
acknowledge
that
that
was a
horse
ridiculous
was a
price.
player in there. I do like the 6 and think the horse is going to be tough to beat. We'll see how it plays out. A likely favorite in race number 2. So race number 3, the firm success. I'm just glad that we're finally running it, so maybe I don't have to see the video of Richie winning the Carter on a firm success on the show, once a day for the last month and a half. I mean, can we please find a race with somebody else riding him? Chavez or somebody?
Well, unfortunately, he passed away. And then Rick Schosberg, his trainer, of course. has
Firm
been on the
success
show.
passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he had a great life.
I'm just saying, but Rick's been on the show, and Richie's on the show, so yeah. I mean,
I
you're
know
gonna,
it's a little tiresome.
you're gonna get
really.
it. When I was at the-
then
when
why
I
can't we
was-
show it as indicated?
When I was at the
Moss Flower.
When I was at the Horse Racing Radio Network, all I did was play the tonalist Belmont Stakes rejoin. I mean, you heard it at least once a month. I found a reason to
but
play.
you're a psychopath. There's a slight difference. I mean, I understand you doing psychotic things. I'm kind of holding the people on our show to a higher regard, but you're talking about me and Mig, and we're not exactly talking about stable people. We are kind of nuts. We'll take a look at New York Traffic winning the Hudson, the slop. I got to tell you, I don't know what it is, but I'm not completely in love with this horse. I know he won this race in the slop, but let me ask you a question. He ran a 90 buyer figure. Isn't a 90 buyer figure just sort of okay in this bunch?
Yes. So he beats this field by a by a pole, right? Did he really like the wet track? Could it have
Yes.
been? Well,
yes.
You see,
I'm not getting involved in those conversations
I'm just wondering
with
if
you.
the wet track held the number down. The other argument is he's kind of tailed off since July. And the only reason I picked him is because it looks like there's going to be
struggling here.
some, you know, right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Go ahead.
I would imagine there's going to be some pace in here. Because
No, you don't think there's going to be pace in here?
whether you...
No, there's no pace in here.
Whether you think...
There's no pace in here.
Well, doesn't Bank on Shea have to try to keep Reggae Music Man company?
Well, Reggae Music Man's going to beat Hold the Salsa in here. They're going to keep him company. Doesn't mean they're going to be moving up front. No, the pace is going to be very moderate here.
No, you see, I feel like Jose
You need
Gomez...
to look at pace figures,
I
my
feel
good
like
friend.
Jose Gomez and Pat Reynolds have decided...
Oh, he's going to be in front.
But I don't think it's going to be slow. I think he's going to.
Okay, you're wrong,
let
but
him
that's
roll.
okay.
Okay.
You imagine these fast paces, and every time we have this conversation, the pace is slow, and
Yeah,
you
this
never
horse
seem
went-
to
this horse
acknowledge
went-
that it doesn't
hold on a minute.
happen.
This horse went fast the last 2 times he ran.
Not that fast. I mean, that last time was on a track that was enormously speed favorite.
He went fast
There
enough.
were 3 horses on the top of the pace. How fast were they going? Anthony, this horse
Okay.
is quick. I'm not denying he's
He's
quick.
he's quick.
But Bank on Shea's not. And the reality with Bank on Shea, when he's been able to be wiring fields, they've been monstrously slow paces. As you remember that when he won this race last year, it was slow. We'll take a look at him winning the Pelican. We'll take a look at him winning the Pelican 2 back.
Who didn't fire? Who was the Chad that didn't fire? In this
No,
race?
it wasn't a Chad that didn't fire. This race last
Yeah.
year? Well, the horse stumbled at the start for Horacio de Paz.
Right. Winner's laugh.
Yeah.
right,
That was.
What do you think now? Got stuck inside, right?
Yeah, I mean, did beat Baby Yoda here, and this is okay. I mean, I think Bank on Shea is fine in here, but getting back to New York Traffic, I'm just not completely and totally sold on him. I think you start to take his races apart. I mean, let me ask you a question. I know he won at 6.5 to Hudson. You're the guy who worries about distance more than I do. Aren't you a little worried about distance with him?
The 7/8 race and the 6.5 race.
But yesterday you had the same concerns with the horse and had done the same things. The Bella horse, you were concerned, and the horse had won at 6.5 furlongs and 7.
Bella Principesca.
Yeah. So I mean, this one you're not concerned. I'm not saying I'm wildly concerned, but I'm not sure this horse isn't better with a little bit more distance.
You might be right.
I know he runs by appointment only. This guy. I mean, honestly, that's what concerns me about him.
That's a concern too.
I don't know. He's the horse to beat. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be an enormous favorite. I think Bank on Shea is okay, and I tell you something. I think Lobster is an interesting alternative if you're looking for a price because I think he's going to be forgotten. Now, he ran badly last time. I'm not going to deny it. His last performance was bad. But his race 2 back and his race 3 back, especially 3 back, are good enough to win here. Is there a possibility that his form has left him a little bit? Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm concerned about him. But I know his race 3 back is good enough to win it. I think his race 2 back might be good enough to win this race. And for me, at a price, I'm willing to take a shot with him because New York Traffic I don't trust. He almost never runs. And Bank on Shea's okay, but Bank on Shea's good performance a little dressed up. And I will say one thing about him. You're right about the 2. He's not going to waltz along on the front end here. At the very least, he's going to have to stalk the number 2 here, who is a quick horse. I don't think the pace is going to be fast, but I don't think the race is going to be handed to Bank on Shea.
I don't either.
So I took a small shot with Lobster.
Okay.
Plus, I love the name. It's a great name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lobster, Chowder.
They're full brothers.
You know, I never have had a. Have you had one of the lobster rolls from the pig store? What is it? What's it? The old pig store. What's it called now? Eddie.
The name of the stable. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear they're great.
I haven't had it.
Oh gosh, well, that's the old Mulholland Pink store. I mean, you're not a Saratoga.
I get the lobster roll from Prime.
The lobster rolls I hear there are exceptional. They're takeout prime. They don't take them out, Anthony. You drive there and
I
get
take
a
'em out.
takeout. Anyway, race number 4 kicks off the pick six, $26,000 carryover, $26,601 in the carryover. That'll start in race number 4. I guess Shamalama Ding Dong.
Johnny and I will be happy. He likes saying this horse's name.
How could you not? And people think of Animal House in this, but of course that's only because they use the song. I will say one thing as we take a look at the last 3 aces of this horse's race. After he broke about a half length slowly, or she did in that race, she did lose to a good horse in Runaway Rumor, who circled the field. What I didn't love about her race was she just didn't get by anybody.
I don't disagree with that.
You know, she just
kinda
kind of
just stayed on.
watch her.
Well, the comment
Yeah.
was kept on, and that's pretty much what she did. She just kind of hung is the wrong word because she never made a big rally to really hang on them, right? She just kind of stayed with the pack. She didn't leave
Yeah.
anybody. She just stayed with the pack, and
It was a decent
in general,
enough
you don't want to
pass.
see that, but yeah, it was fine.
You know, Creasy Road's okay. I mean,
She ran into a buzzsaw that day,
so here's my question.
but she got beat.
Why was Christophe determined to run her on the dirt after that race?
Yeah, it's a little curious.
Yeah.
It's a little curious.
Yeah, I guess he thought it was an upstart, and she ran a sloppy track first time, and she did run arguably a better race when she ran the dirt the next time, and then she stunk it up last time on the dirt. Another horse with layoffs. She's the horse to beat. I don't know. I want to go to different horses here.
You almost had to take a little shot.
And
against
you
her,
like
right?
See Me Now.
I went to See Me Now second time for the Red Hot George Weaver barn. I don't know. I felt like this horse had a useful debut. Dam was 1 for 3 on the turf. Outside draw here.
How about her production?
Why don't I have that?
I don't know.
I have the deuces, the first full. I don't know. I don't have this.
Okay.
I don't think there was. There must not have been much if I didn't.
She's produced 3
write it
horses to
down.
try the turf, and they all won.
Yeah.
But none of them were very good. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with this horse. I've got her in the mix somewhere.
Like I said, I didn't know. I kind of didn't. I didn't want to pick Shamalama Ding Dong. I did not. I didn't fancy any of the other firsters really, as far as putting them on top. So
Schosberg's horse say I have to Mango M. Shinful.
that was Shug.
Yes, it
for the
was.
coach.
Lola, who I have second and you have third, is after 3 turf winners out of 6 to try it. The Dam wasn't much of a turf horse, but her production has been okay.
Dan was 0 for 5.
A little
0 for
better
2,
than
0 for-
okay.
0 for
Somewhere between okay
2
and
on the
decent.
turf.
I struggled with this race, to be honest, because
Yeah.
I hear you in the 9, and I'm not going to be surprised if he wins, or she wins, excuse me, but it's just sort of
Part of the
okay
reason was
turf
riding
pedigree.
the barn too.
Yeah, but that's a barn that got very hot, that they've understandably cooled down a little bit since then. I know they won yesterday, but that was a pretty rough field that she won yesterday. Boom, boom, kaboom. So now won 2 straight races, something you never thought you'd say. As far as Queen of Lies, they're significant turf in the second generation of this Dam, and I wonder, it worries me that she cost only $2,000. Believe me, that bothers me. I don't know the story. I mean, that was obviously as a weanling. Going long on synthetic. I don't know if she's a synthetic horse. She got herself in a little trouble. She didn't get the best of rides in that race. I also wonder if she really wants to go that far, and I thought maybe the cutback would help her. It's a bit of a stab with her. I wouldn't bet her at 3-1 in here. I don't know if she's going to be 3-1 off that line.
Wow,
going
David has
long.
a second choice, huh?
Yeah, maybe she will. I honestly, maybe if I saw that line, I would have gone the 6 on top, but I hate to pick first-time stars on total guess. I'm somewhere with them. I honestly really didn't have a strong opinion here one way or the other, but I just took Queen of Lies as sort of a new face here, but 3-1 wouldn't appeal to me.
Yeah, no.
It's a tough race
That's
to
a
start
true-
the pick 6
it is a tough
because
race.
it's hard to really like anybody in here. Race number 5. What'd you do in race number 5?
Speaking of hard to like anybody in here, I went
Well,
to.
I disagree, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to the 9.
Like those 0 for 11s?
You know, I hate the 0 for 11.
So why do we like this horse?
I just feel like this horse will be forward in a race where I didn't see that much speed.
And
early on.
that'll get him the winner's
I'm,
circle in his
I'm
last
hoping
12
that
races.
I'm hoping that it finally does. Yeah. The race 2 back is going to make him ultra tough. I don't know if he
I
can
don't agree,
find
but
that.
okay.
I'm sorry.
I don't agree, but okay.
You think if he runs the race 2 back?
I don't. That race 2 back does. I don't trust that race. never early, didn't come back to running close to that number. I'm skeptical that race was as fast as it looked. Fazaro was third.
I just felt like there were too many negatives. Not that he doesn't have them, but
Okay, I'm not using an 0 for 11 when I think there's numerous horses. First of all, if I'm going to use an 0 for a bunch, I'm going to use We Ready, who at least finally gets a dry
I'm
track.
going to use both of them.
He finally gets a dry track, so I would use him, and I have a bit of a thing with him. But I thought there were very clearly two other horses. One of them being Prince of Fenton, who I like in here, who goes back to the dirt. I think ran well enough in the races out of town. For what it's worth, I have a stat for Brittany Russell. How about maiden special to maiden claim or turf to dirt? And 4 for 6 in scheduled dirt races, so it's not a slew of off the turf wins. With a 5.2 ROI, they're roughly 7 and change horses that are winning at a very high clip. She does well in these kind of drops. And New Gelding, I just thought Prince of Fenton was the new face to like in here. And I also am very, very scared of Sean the Hammer down on the rail. I mean, it's Rudy, whose horses are running through the screen and day after day. This is the same Michael Dubb. Michael Dubb had this horse with Mike Maker. They ran the turf. I mean, you look at it, it's an old dam, but it's really more of a dirt family. This horse worked 21 1/5 at the 2-year-old sale last year, and maybe that's why they thought, well, synthetic, we'll try the horse on turf. But in reality, it's probably a dirt horse, and it's Rudy. So, and I'll tell you something, if this horse is live, this horse will have speed. I don't care how slow the horse was first time out. If this horse is live for Rudy, this horse is coming out running with Gomez from the rail. Now, it doesn't mean the horse is going to show speed, but so I'm pretty much the 1 in 10, and I have to use the 2 because I've already lost a small fortune on the horse, and I can't let the horse win without me. But you like the number 9 for Dave Donk. That's the first 5, the late pick 4 after a quick break.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
We're back. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling. Race number 6. Now, here's a race where, I mean, it's not that there's no form, because there actually is form to go on. I just felt like this race was hieroglyphics looking at it. And you like the 9 half birthday.
I picked the 9 half birthday.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of these races, too, where the default would have been Mott. I don't know if this horse.
Well, if we're going to talk about Mott, we'll show his replay.
I don't know if Runaway Rocket, who I think is going to be. I think Runaway Rocket is going to be a big favorite in here. Well,
I don't think anyone could be a big favorite in this race, Anthony, but maybe I'm wrong.
You think this horse will be 7-2?
I don't think anyone can be a big favorite here. I don't know what price they're going to be. I'm rarely right about these things, but there's not like this horse has any particularly good races.
I put this horse second because, at least he has some form. I don't think he's going to want. I don't know if he's going to cut back. I don't think he's going to
really want to.
I think he's the horse. They'll see him shipping in from Keeneland, and he's coming back in 9 days. How about that?
Yeah, he shipped up from Keeneland. He's coming back in 9 days. Bill Mott turning back on the turf is 7 for 74, 9%, $1.37 ROI. I mean, the horse's 5 furlong race in Florida was a disaster. I mean, she's not even that good. She's had a lot of chances. I mean, she's been a big price in a lot of races, to be fair. So it's not like she's a massive failure at short prices. And she could absolutely win in here because there isn't a lot of form to go on. But I don't know what price she'll be, but I know she won't be a big one. And I've got her third. I'm not going to be surprised if she wins here, but I didn't want to take her. My problems with your horse, Half Birthday, are the horse ran a week ago. Tom Morley's trying to get while the getting's good with this horse. This horse beat about as hungry a field as you could possibly find.
Don't disagree, but I think what you said first, trying to get when the getting's good.
But the getting may not be good here.
He won this filly won the race where the horse that finished second was the only horse who would run on the turf. the rest of the field had never run on the turf before.
I'm well aware of that.
No, I'm letting the people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean this was a hopeless field. This horse ran against. I don't like this horse at all. I think this horse will get bet because the horse comes off a win in a race that is somewhat devoid of form, and I think this horse will be bet for all the wrong reasons. You and I clearly
probably
disagree.
should have picked the race 9-10 in the hopes that Freedom of the Press just needed the race last time. But man, was she bad?
Well, we're going to watch her last race. I'll tell you one thing about her. I had never noticed this. She's gigantic.
She's big. She's big.
She had some issues before this race. She had some issues, and I imagine Maggie will probably talk about this on the show this afternoon. Not really seeming to want to run, not wanting to go on the turf course. She needed a lot of perseverance to get there. And you watch, Jose is really riding her for a while, but right in here, he just realizes she's just not really motivating.
Anywhere.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying she ran worse, and I don't blame Jose. In fact, I give Jose a lot of credit for riding her, given the circumstances. I think things went badly wrong in this race. Now, she may be an issue horse, a difficult horse, and just because things went badly wrong, now they may not go badly wrong today.
Right.
And she is a horse that I think I would be very interested, if you're at home, to hear what Maggie has to say about how she's acting in the paddock, how she's acting on the racetrack, and knowing Maggie and her extensive notes, you know that she's going to be, unless she wasn't here that day, which I
Now
don't
that
think.
doesn't help you with the pick six. Or the
No,
pick
no,
four,
it doesn't.
or the
But
pick
it's,
five.
but it's
in race and for the pick.
the best we can do is
four.
when the race comes up,
Correct.
and we've got Maggie, who's
Absolutely.
the best in the business, so she's going to be all over this stuff. And I
Absolutely.
mean, I know her. This is the horse that she's going to be focusing on. Right. And I think, and because the other thing is, if this horse is acting well and behaving herself, she could easily beat these horses. I mean,
If
she runs a race two back, she's better than these horses.
Oh.
Unless somebody, well, I mean, there are some fuzzies in here, but in all
guess,
likelihood, she's probably
yeah.
going to win.
Right.
And I have no confidence in her, and that's why I didn't put her on top and why I put somebody else, but she can win here. I actually think Wicked Happy has a chance. As far as write this down, when this horse was last running here, Jeffrey Englehart was not winning at the kind of clip he's been winning in the last, 6 months, 4 months, whatever it's been. His horses are super live. She's got that one goofy race, that Social World race, and I always like coming back to a race where I actually made a score in it because they're few and far between. That was a race where I thought I took a tough beat when Social World went on the wire, and then I looked at my exactas and realized they made more money the way it hit because I liked the horse that ran second, and they're blaming on Mary. Now, I'm not exactly sure where that race came from because her other races are somewhat mediocre, and you can look and say, well, it wasn't really off of Atris's training because it was 5.5 weeks after the race in Saratoga, almost 6 weeks after that race. But she does have some turf sprints that are okay, and you got a trainer now that's going well. And doesn't she have a little bit of a look like he said, okay, I tried her twice in the dirt. That's enough. I'll wait for turf sprints. And she's in here right away.
Owner Darrell Brower, he's won 5 of his last 6.
Yeah.
They've made some good claims and on a nice little run
Just
over
a
there.
live group.
Yeah.
And I don't believe me, I don't love this horse either. And as you said, it's a very hard race to love anybody. So, we'll see. And
You mentioned Wicked Happy. I think you got to use a little Wicked Happy, especially at a decent price.
She's not impossible.
Right?
She's
Not
certainly
impossible at all.
she's a very good try or super horse,
Sure.
I think, at a price. And, and I'd written it down, and my friend Steve reminded me also, for what it's worth with Freedom of the Press, and I think her demeanor is much more important. She was 3-4 wide around the racetrack, and that was when we first started running on the turf, and the rail was really the place to be that day. I even actually have it marked down. So we'll see. And she is the one to beat, but I think her behavior, and she is a bit of a case. So anyway. Well, race number 7, I thought was the biggest scratch of the day for me personally. I thought Bella Tapissieri was a lead pipe cinch in here. I actually thought the only horse could beat her was Cecilia Mike. Yeah, that's right. You got a chance to say it. We'll take a look at Cecilia Mike running second last time out. I mean, I look at this race. Feels like there's got to be a little pace in here, right? By the way, I got pace in the Vintage Hollywood race yesterday. I just didn't know that it was going to be Vintage Hollywood setting it. That was the wildest ride I've ever. I have no idea.
How well did he run? It sounds
won that
foolish.
race with a different
Well,
trip.
that's what it sounds foolish to say when a horse wins by a half a dozen lengths, but as well as he ran yesterday, you think if he sits the trip off the 1 and the 2, he may have been able to win that race.
I got to say something about Cecilia Mike. He's turned it around. Bonnie Lucas is continuing to do well with the Potts horses. I guess I scratched in this horse. I don't like to scratch in. I was going to use 5s and 7s here, but I guess he's the one left in here. I
went to Winning Drive.
Okay.
I thought Winning Drive, same thing. some pace in here. I thought they were the two horses because there is some pace in here. There should be some pace in here. So I would. You could flip a coin.
Well, I mean,
Two
the
of them.
assumption is he's a different horse for Rob Atras
Yes.
because every race before Rob Atras claimed him, he's not even remotely competitive here. And then he comes for Rob and he runs an 80 buyer in his next start. And we have seen Rob's horses running. You know, we saw that horse that you picked on Sunday at a big price. That horse improved 15 lengths off any race, 10 to 15 lengths of any race he's ever run. And I guess with Rob Atras, this horse has to be used. I can't disagree with that.
I thought it was 5s and 6s. I really didn't want
The fast
anybody else.
break had a shot in here.
was
Of the
the third- he was
speeds,
the third horse
he's
for
the
me.
one I would use. He's the one I would use the speeds. So I
Okay.
want to have one of the speeds in there. I'd probably use him. But unfortunately for me, I liked Bella to Pizzeria. Race number 8. Linda scratched here, by the way. Get that Linda scratch in there. Love and Love. Take a look at her. I probably should have picked her second, taken a small shot with Flash and Dynamite, who we'll talk about in a minute. But here's Love and Love. Let me ask you a question. She draws the rail today. Makes it a little more complicated for her, right?
I guess.
A little more. I'm not.
Yeah, I guess. That would be the only knock, I think, on her. I think she ran really, really well off the long break last time. I guess the rail's a problem. If there is,
I think a problem.
Probably
It
a strong word.
just doesn't fall into a perfect trip the
Right.
way she did in her last race.
Right.
But
Yeah.
listen, she's run big figures, and she's probably, just the horse to beat in
Her
here.
overall body of work, she's just.
The horse I don't like at all in this race is Customer Experience. I scratched into her for 4th with a scratch in the 4, but her last race was atrocious.
Yeah.
She had a race won. It was over.
She had no excuse.
And she just stopped. And I kind of wonder if she hit that peak and now she's in a valley.
Could be. That could very well be.
And the thing is, besides improving with that 83 buyer for Rob Atras off the claim, and then William Morey was winning a lot of races back then, she runs a huge figure. She kind of just fell off.
She fell apart a little bit.
And
She did.
she wasn't ever that good.
She's
and
also
she
done
kinda
that.
got
She's
good.
done this before too.
Yeah.
So
I don't want her. She wins, I
Yeah.
lose. I think now you've got the 2 speeds. You've taken She's a Little Edgy. I prefer the other one. Why do you like She's a Little Edgy?
I just the Gustavo Rodriguez barn's going well. She got into a little bit of a battle on the front end last time out.
Well, wait a second. She didn't get into a battle. That's actually incorrect, because the winner of that race got completely left, and it just happened that the calls coincided with the time that Jackie, after Easy Bless, blew the break. Easy Bless ran well yesterday, by
she
the way, in the
did.
feature.
There's a Philly
Easy-
race.
Easy
There's
to
a
Bless.
the Philly equivalence in 3 weeks. She'll
Right.
She'll probably be coming back in that.
She circled from the far back, and she was blowing by her. So it wasn't a duel that was going on. It was actually her sort of having a comfortable lead, and it just happened that exactly the call caught her ahead in front. So she wasn't in a particularly competitive pace scenario, and it's amazing that Easy Bless won that race by 10 lengths after completely blowing the break. Yeah, I think that
I think she's. You see,
where's her race other than one race at
I
Parks
think
the
with
90 that gives her a
I think
chance
with the
in here?
rider change, I think she's going to be aggressively handled. I think she'll be on the front end today.
Well, the way Rose was riding yesterday, she'll be in front by 6.
I think she'll be on the front end today. I think that gives her.
She will be. She's supposed to be in front anyway. But I prefer Flashback and Dynamite, to be honest. And one of the things I like about Flashback and Flash and Dynamite. Is there a horse Flashback
There
and Dynamite?
was.
Yeah, there was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. My brain.
You said that just now, and I said this horse is not that horse.
Make Mischief rode a gold rail last time out. That was a huge, big inside track, and this horse chased outside off the gold rail. So I think that performance is actually every bit as good as it looks, if not better. And I don't totally trust her, but she has run some good figures in the past, and she has run well at Belmont Park before. So I thought she was the dangerous horse. I'm going to use 1s and 3s here. I could have gone 3-1, taken a small shot.
All right.
See what happens in race.
I'm going to use
number-
1s and 6s.
Right. Race number 9. My top 2 choices near were AEs. That's never a good thing.
Never a good thing. Wow, that's never a good thing.
And now my top pick here is a preposterous horse. But I have a little feeling why I want to throw this horse, take this shot
You
with this
love
horse.
Big Wonder. That's why you have this horse now.
Well, I mean, this horse have to 2 turf winners, including Big Wonder. The problem is Big Wonder's Big Brown, and this is Giant Surprise. And the Dam was a good turf horse. I don't like 63S, but I don't like anybody in here. And this horse has enough turf pedigree, though Giant Surprise is a little tough to take. I mean, Honestly, Anthony, you've got Box of Joe on top.
I want to use. So I'll be closing to 6 horses here if I'm alive. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 is who I wanted to be closing to.
You left out Raw Courage. Okay, I can't argue with that. You've left out Red Jet. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, I want
So
everything.
something's probably tough to take.
Yep.
The 9 is tough to take. I'm not sure why you want the 10, but okay. Wouldn't you want the 11 over the 10?
No. 0 for 9, I'll take the horse that's never on.
I'll bet you lunch the 11 beats the 10.
Okay, we can do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, okay. Well, they're
problem.
comparable prices, 11
yeah,
over 10.
10 and 12, yeah.
104. The quest for 200 begins here. I'm thinking before Labor Day. We have a third member of the team just came over, by the way.
He literally put his face against the glass
Did
just
he?
now. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Imagine pressing your face to look at the two idiots sitting up here. I mean, really.
I was thinking the same thing.
Let's go talk to him. Could be crazier
Yeah, 1,
than
2,
we
3,
are.
1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10. I was with you. I left the 3 out, but if the 3 had a little more turf influence on top, you almost have. But
I'm
listen,
not,
the horse is going to be 15
I'm not going to sit here and
1.
make a mass event. The
Horse
horse
is
has
gonna be
enough
15 to
turf
1.
pedigree. And I'll tell you something else. The horse actually ran a
He
little
didn't-
first
he
time
did
out.
not
It's not like the
run.
horse was
Right.
beaten 500 lengths first time out.
Did
The
he
horse-
run, you think he ran decent or okay?
It's somewhere between. That's the new line, Anthony. I should get shirts that say somewhere between decent and okay.
Fine?
That should be the.
Is there a fine line between
that's
decent and
somewhere
okay?
Between,
That's what it
we
is.
should get a name a horse somewhere between decent and okay. I like
There you
that.
go.
Yeah, that's good. There is turf pedigree going in the second family of Karma's Warrior, the horse we both have second year, and this is Dangerous War Dancer. And we've seen some of the horses win first time out. Run okay, going shorter, so that is possible. I thought the logical horse here was, not logical. The 7. I didn't want to cop out with the 7, the first time star for Joe Sharp. I thought about it. This was a half to a turf winner. That was a Courageous Cat. This is Mission Impassable. The Dam was a 5-time winner in the turf. She was okay. Joe, can have some good luck, and I would wish the barn some good luck and some horrible news in general for that barn and for racing in Kentucky today, and our condolences. So I'd like to see Joe win in that situation. But, it's just, yesterday's last race was a crapshoot. I know the second choice beat the first choice, but it's not like either one of those horses had to run it all
Not
in
at
there.
all, right.
And these are odd crapshoots of a race. We'll see how things work out. That's it. That's all we got.
That's all she wrote.
Good card tomorrow. I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yes. Really excited. For
And you're going to wear, Anthony will be covering, Anthony and Lafitte. I'm going to get home. I'll get home for a lot of that show, so I will be flipping back and forth, covering the Meadowlands and the night card at Churchill tomorrow night. Will you be wearing a driver's gear?
I have.
You really got to do that.
I have colors at home.
You got to wear them.
I do have colors at home.
We have a little hat. And
I've
the
driven
whip.
in 8 media races. We're gonna get. I need to find the footage.
You've driven 8 media races?
I've driven in 8 media races. 3 seconds. I've driven. I've driven at Monticello, Yonkers, and at Goshen at the Hall of Fame.
kidding.
Yeah. Finished second at Monty.
You
twice.
rode at Goshen?
I drove at Goshen. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of fun. Goshen. I finished second at Goshen.
Hall of Fame,
second at
Harness Hall of
Monty.
Fame.
And
They used to have
I got parked a mile at Yonkers.
Wasn't
First
one of the
time I
big
ever drove.
races was the Hambletonian at Goshen? No, what was it? No, Hambletonian was in Little DeCoin originally. Where was the Little Brown Jug? That was at Delaware or somewhere,
Yeah,
but not
it's-
Delaware, Ohio, right?
right, Delaware, Ohio.
DeCoin was the Hambletonian. Didn't Goshen? I know they had big races. Were they the Grand Circuit races?
Yeah.
They still have those Grand Circuit
I
races?
don't know.
These would be the big races. Remember that when I was a kid, we used to run heats in the Grand Circuit races, and what a Baron set the track record
the
back
Hambletonian
then.
used to be a heat.
Yeah. Well, I went to the Meadowlands Cup when they ran the heats, but they ran them a week before. And you had to run the first 4.
They used to run everything on this. They would run them on the same
They
day.
run the same day.
Yeah.
I saw Nia Trust break and run 4th. It was the race, I believe, after he went over the fence at Saratoga Harness. And then he won the Meadowlands Cup. He qualified running 4th after breaking.
running 4th.
And he qualified the next week. He won the was it Meadowlands Cup? Or that the thoroughbred race? What was the
No,
Meadowlands
Cup.
Pace? Meadowlands Pace.
Yeah. No,
Meadowlands-
I won't have my
I used to
colors
love
tomorrow.
the
I won't have
harness
my
racing
colors
out there.
tomorrow night.
Really? You never rode the Meadowlands though?
don't.
It's Jersey.
No.
You got to stay in the state.
We almost had a media race there, mile over. That would have been interesting. The mile. Yeah. I was good. I was pretty good.
Clearly, you ran 3rd 3
I was
times.
second.
Did the
No,
horses
second
play
3
any role
times.
in this?
I'm gonna
Did they
save.
kick you
I'm
when you got
saving the
off?
story for tomorrow night.
All right. All
I'm
right.
saving the story for tomorrow
Okay,
night.
I do think you should wear your driver's outfit at least for part of it.
Should I bring the silks for
You
part
know,
of it? Maybe
let me
I
put it this
should.
way, if you do
They're
that, does
gigantic. I'll
Lafitte, can
tell you what,
Lafitte wear some jockey gear?
They'll be gigantic now.
Yeah, that would be must see TV.
Be gigantic.
All right,
now,
I'm looking
thankfully.
forward to that. That'll
All
be
right.
tomorrow night. Anyway, you need to head over to Naira Bets if you're not a member. Use the promo code Derby25, free $25 Derby bet plus $200 sign-up bonus as always. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. Support racing in New York. We have a 20% winners bonus. I know Anthony and I are signed up for that.
We
now we just
do.
need to hit some exactas. We get that bonus. We also have the
I made some money with that yesterday.
contest. $300 buy-in. You have until 5 o'clock today. Lots of fun to play that live money contest. Naira.com/contests. Also, what else?
Pick six.
$26,601. Is that Brian? Is that our friend
It
Brian?
is.
There's Brian.
Saw him
Look at that.
earlier.
There we go. Test the Belmont Stakes. Here's tickets for that. Head over to belmontstakes.com. And there may be a special deal offered for a couple days or something. Take a look at that. Go over to belmontstakes.com and take a look. And finally, last but not least, 1 to 6:30, I'll be on the late shift with Greg. I believe Richie and Acacia will be on early. I'll be on from about 3:45 to 6:30. That will be covering the first half. That's it. Have a wonderful day. You have a wonderful day. Francisco, you have a wonderful day. Johnny I up next to reprise the scratches and changes.
Attention, please. The owner of a silver Chevrolet Impala, New York license plate BKU 2467. Please call security immediately. The extension is 4321. Once again, the owner of a silver Chevrolet Impala, New York plate BKU 2467. Please call security at 4321. Thank you. Hello, racing fans, and once again, welcome to beautiful Belmont Park. We have sunny skies. The temperature will be around 60 degrees. The main track fast. Turf courses are firm. The portable rail is up at 9 feet on the widener turf and at 27 feet on the inner turf. We have a pick six carryover today of more than $26,000. Right now, we'll take a look at the changes, and in fact, there are no changes to report in the first 5 races on the card. No changes in races 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Going to the 6th, scratch number 7, Trinity Totoli. Scratch the 7, Trinity Totoli out of the 6th. In the 7th race, scratch 1, Al Cools, part of an entry, and scratch the 7, Belle Tapisserie. Scratch 1 and 7 out of the 7th. In the 8th race, scratch number 4, Betsy Blue. Scratch the 4, Betsy Blue. And in today's 9th and final race, scratch 1A, Gold Bullion. Scratch the 13, How You Feeling, and the 14, Be the Boss. Scratch 1A, 13 and 14, and there's an overweight now. Number 6 is 1 pound over. Fast and firm here at Belmont. The Friday opener in 28 minutes at 120.
How does horse racing support New York's economy? It's responsible for 19,000 jobs and more than $3 billion in annual statewide economic impact. These good-paying jobs support working families across the state and sustain thousands of small businesses both on and off the track. Horse racing in New York means jobs and opportunities now and in the future. We are New York Horse Racing.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
Be a part of the Racing Action Saturdays at Belmont Park with live money contests available online through Naira Bets. A $300 buy-in adds $200 to your contest account, while the other $100 funds the cash prize pool paid through 10th place. Follow along with the races on America's Day at the Races while keeping track of your leaderboard standings on Naira Bets. After the contest, your bankroll and prize winnings are shifted back into your Naira Bets account to start betting or withdraw. Register to play today at nairabets.com/contests.